Hello and welcome to my soul cooking channel. We're going to do a Kori Melagu curry. So Kori Melagu curry is the most basic dish that I've learned. What does it have? What does it stand for? Kori is chicken, Melagu is pepper, and it's a curry. And what we're going to use is some basic spices. I'm going to give you a rundown of all of them. We have cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, there's some saunf or aniseed, and of course lots of onion, tomatoes, and the three powders that we use, three different colors. That's green coriander powder, that's turmeric, and that's chilli, and finally a lot of ground peppercorn and a bit of ginger garlic paste. So let's get cracking with the dish. First we chop up all the onions. So I chopped all the onion. As I said, we try to make sure that all the pieces are same size so that when you cook them in the oil, they're all going to be colored evenly. So when you see that in proportion to the quantity of chicken, it's almost the same by volume, but by weight it's approximately half. So that's a kilo of chicken, that's half a kilo of onion, and approximately 350 grams of tomato. So we're going to chop these roughly because they're all going to get completely cooked and mashed while in the stock pot. Yeah. All right. So the preparation work is done, and I have my chopped onions, tomatoes. So it's time to start cooking. We start by switching it on and pouring some oil. We have to be careful with the amount of oil. Too much oil could make it very greasy. At the same time, if it's less, then you won't be able to saute the onions properly. And you start this by adding the three whole spices: cinnamon, cardamom, and cloves. So let's add with cinnamon. Then we add some 5 pods of cardamom and around 5-6 pieces of cloves. There you go. Allow them to swell. And then we add the salt. You hear the salt crackle. Then add the onion. Approximately 5 to 8 minutes until all the onion is golden brown in color. Enjoying the flavors while you cook. Alright, so onion is getting nice and golden brown here. I'm loving the way it looks. This is the right time to add the ginger garlic paste just before it turns dark brown, right? And 2 spoons of that, and sauteing away. So a secret to this is that when you add the ginger garlic paste, you saute it slowly. You slow down the fire to make sure the ginger and garlic is cooked nicely. Right now, as the ginger cooks, it starts sticking to the bottom of the pan, and now that's the indication that the ginger is 100% cooked. And then we'll add the tomatoes. So I've slowed down the flame. It's cooking. I want the ginger and garlic to give out all its flavors. And yes, and and the color is also looking nice and golden brown. Wow, beautiful. And this is the right time. I also feel that it is sticking to the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to now add all the tomatoes. And go back to full flame. And now we add some turmeric. Be careful the amount of turmeric we add. Just about a teaspoon of it. And we mix. And now is the right time to add salt. Just the amount of salt we think is going to be enough for the onion and tomato. What the salt does is, salt helps the tomato break down nicely. We follow this with chili powder. 1, 2, 3 spoons of it. Mix it gently, and next coriander powder. And this is put in the proportion of, if the turmeric was 1, the chili was 2, the coriander would be 3. So I'm going to add 4 teaspoonfuls of this. And that kind of looks perfect. Nice. And now is the time to add the chicken, because we see that there's some oil coming out. The tomato is cooking. It's not 100% cooked, but that's what we want. So what I've taken here is, I'm going to put the chicken drumsticks first, the chicken with the legs, bone, and we'll do the boneless pieces later. It's going to take a little longer for the pieces with the bone to get cooked, and so they get to go in first. All right, I got everything in there. We're gonna mix it. I'm sure these chicken legs love the flavors around them as much as I do. Put a lid on and let it simmer for approximately 2 minutes, and after that we're going to add the boneless cuts of the thighs of the chicken. So that's been covered for around 2 to 3 minutes, and I can see that, yeah, the drumsticks are nearly cooked, and now I'm going to add the boneless cuts. There you go, all of that in, and we saute it for some more time, making sure it's not getting stuck to the base of the pan. At this stage, it's very important to saute the chicken, because what we are trying to do is, by sauteing it, we are ensuring that the pieces of meat are nicely seared and the juices are trapped inside. So don't be tempted to add the water yet. The pieces of chicken are slowly plumping up, which means that they're getting seared. We're going to cover it for another minute, and then we're going to add the water and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. Simmer it, don't be in a hurry, and then we'll finish it off with the peppercorn. So it's been closed for a while now. What we're going to do is add just the right amount of water. You don't need to add too much water, because chicken is also going to let out its own natural juices. Just the right amount. Wow, that looks amazing. Chicken is nicely seared, so it's going to be nice, juicy and plumpy. It's the right time for me to taste if it's all going fine. Yep, just a little more salt and we're gonna look fine. Just the kind of flavors I want. I like to taste my dish many times while I'm making it, because I kind of start remembering at what stage, what is the taste that we're trying to get. Okay, so this is that stage where the onion, tomatoes are cooked, the chicken is being added, and chicken is letting out some of its juices and marrying with the flavors of all the onion, tomatoes and spices. Beautiful. So we're going to let this cook now for good 10 minutes until the chicken is totally cooked. Okay, I'm going to cover it up. It's been cooking for good 15 minutes. Oh, beautiful. What an aroma. So while this is getting cooked, a little more is left. What we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly chop some coriander. This is gonna add that special taste to our curry. I don't really need to chop the coriander fine. It's roughly chopped, and we can also put some stems of the coriander because it's got a lot of flavors. Okay, so we are ready with that, and once more open, and we're gonna put all that coriander on top of it, all of it. This goes in. Okay, so we've come to the final stage of cooking, and I can see that the oil is coming out and curry is nice and shiny. And now this is the time when we do a special magic on top of it. I'm not going to add just the peppercorn and leave it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this here, and right at the back I have some ghee. I'm going to heat the ghee, and while I heat the ghee, I'm going to add the peppercorn right on top, enough to cover all the chicken. Now you can moderate the spice by reducing the quantity of peppercorn. We are ready. The ghee is hot. We're going to transfer it back here. I'm going to remove this ladle and on top, and we're going to give it a quick stir. Wow, this looks delicious. So at this stage we don't want to cook it too long, because the peppercorn will make the curry a little bitter. So ensure that you switch it off, and if you want it to continue, just close the lid and let it simmer for another minute, and then it's all blended in. So good, I have the delicious Chettinadu Kori Melagu curry, chicken pepper curry is ready, and oh, that looks heavenly. What we're going to do is we're going to plate it in a bowl, and wow, brilliant. Just one sprig of coriander. And what do I love eating this with is string hoppers, idiyappam, and there you go. Enjoy the coastal delight Kori Melagu curry served with steaming hot idiyappams.